SD Strike Liu Bei Gundam. Hey, what's up again, everybody? It's Robert184, 2Rs2B's Gundam Reviews.net, and as the high-grade Perfect Strike spins into view, we're going to be taking a look at the SD version of it here. It's got the launcher, the sword, the ale, and then it goes perfect here. Tons of parts in one of the most expensive SD kits so far. Here's the empty plates, and I painted them up in yellow to get rid of that ugly yellow there. And here's what you're going to be getting for his light armor form, and when you want to turn him into just the regular Strike. There's some nice gold in there already from Bandai, but I think a lot of the attention is going to go into these. They take a lot of time to put together, and the number of parts is astonishing. And remember that they are all combined gonna turn perfect. Now this is going to be one of the most pleasant surprises when you're putting this kit together with a million different striker packs. Well, by a million I mean 3, and then he can go combine them all for perfect. In this case, you don't need a Ziploc necessarily to store all of them because they're going to be giving you this great animal representation to put them all together. The Phoenix and the Dragon, or however you want to translate Phoenix, has a long history here in Asia, and it's going to be looking very cool with all of the Ale Striker pack on there and the effect parts really bringing it to life. First of all, when you put it all together, most of these things are going to be attached onto the Ale Strike Gundam, but then you've also got those little Phoenix feet down there in yellow, and the Phoenix head. It's actually well molded. When I painted the gold, I didn't figure that I'd enjoy this, so I didn't bother putting gold paint on there. I somewhat regret it, but because these ones, when you actually put them on and go perfect, those are going to be the only parts that are going to be left behind in the Ziploc, it seems. And it's surprisingly decent for mobility. Yeah, you can move the hips. They're just going to rotate there. You can bring the actual feet forward and back. You'll notice that they've got a bend mechanism down here as well. And on the back, this is where the effect part fun is going to be kicking in. You've got 2 of these blades down there and then a bigger one, which is going to be serving as the tail. You can see that it's got a handle there. This is going to be a little bit disappointing, I think, for the actual Ale Striker pack. You've got green seals there. Those are looking good. And the fire flames, he's going to be moving up and down. But 5 orange effect parts there is looking fantastic. And then a 6th, if you want to count this chest piece. Lots of gold seals. It's definitely going to take some time to get this guy all sealed up. And there it is for the extra parts. You can take the Phoenix head and have him move this way. And I can't believe that a weapon rack is worth doing a height comparison for, but check him out next to the HGUC Nemo. This guy right here is just the Ale Striker pack with a couple of bird parts thrown in, almost as large and definitely a lot more playful. And whereas the Phoenix is going to be wide and relatively tall here, this one is just going to be incredibly short but long. As you're taking the launcher and the sword striker packs and putting them all in together, it's not going to be looking as good unless you go ahead and paint up the gold, which was missing on the Phoenix there. But otherwise, you can see the way they cleverly put in the shoulders there for both the launcher and the sword striker packs, the actual big gun down there, and the big sword, and then you're going to get the bonuses of effect parts at the end. The seals, there's going to be a fair bit of them. I don't know if you'd consider that a bonus, but putting this part down at the end is going to look good for the sword, especially when it's down in the proper place, instead of just adding more length to the tail. Here he's got some old Trogdor wingling dings there, and he's got a nice effect part there. Then the mouth of the dragon is actually going to be opening to reveal the cannon inside. Probably my biggest complaint about this is that it's just going to be really flimsy. It's very easy for this part. This is going to be used on the back end for both of the striker packs to get things just to be held on. It's actually made out of 2 separate pieces there, but it doesn't do a very good job at all of actually holding these guys in place. So you are going to be getting these. These would be yellow, but they're painted up in gold. Putting the red seals on, yeah, those are not going to be all that great as they're supposed to go into the little divots there. Anyway, you can get them on, push them down with a Q-tip, and don't push too hard and you won't hurt them. Lots of gold trim again that you've got to go add on if you really want to make this guy look okay, but of course paint it to look a lot better. And I do like these gold bolts that they're throwing in on both the sword and the big gun down there, but I think it's the head down here that's looking the best. As you'll notice, it is on a polycap, which lets it move both as a dragon and when you're actually going to be shooting it. But take a look, the blue effect part is looking good, and down here at the bottom of the mouth, this is going to be provided by a seal that's just covering up the blue effect part. But on the inside there, you've also got another seal for the barrel, and yes, they're both going to be opening. This painted, this as it is, so it would be yellow otherwise, but this is just a lot of fun in terms of play value. For the Sword Striker pack, here you can see the familiar looking shoulder there. Again, it's just got these gold legs, which can add even more color when you actually go and put them on in either sword or perfect mode. Some gold trim up there, and the same idea of these little covered bolts down there. And you're also going to have the bonuses of the forearm launcher. You can take that and detach it, and actually go and put that on. And then for the sword itself, well, it's going to be extended like this, and you can't really move it all that much more, so it's going to be a little bit strange if you try to fold it up. But this part is going to be looking good when it's out as the tail, but it's going to look even better in hand. Just the fact that you're getting the gold, the blue, and the effect blue in close proximity is definitely going to catch the eye, and is something I wish Bandai would add for more of their higher grades. So though the animals are a lot of fun, it's actually time to go and build up the Strike Gundam. Here he is in his lightest of light armors. As you can see, some lining options on the back skirts and on the forearms there, and some little silver seals that are added on where you would have the gray inner outer frame of the Strike protruding. And here he is in his true light armor form there, as he's going to be adding the blue onto the forearms, and more importantly the chest piece, which is just a single piece with some red seals down at the bottom. This part here would be an ugly yellow without the paint. But thanks to the fun set of eyes there, and you do get to choose two, so you can swap them on and off, the camera lens there and the red seal over the gold, he's looking alright if you go at it with a $2 lining marker. Really the only ugly part is just those two gray shoulders. But those can be fixed. So in his regular form here, he's actually going to be looking pretty sharp, and I mean, if an SD Gundam stopped right here, you'd probably be content, especially after fixing that yellow. But what you're going to be getting here is the Strike shoulders are going to be on there big and white. However, the gray inner outer frame there is going to be provided by seals. On the plus hand though, they are metallic, as you can see them looping around there in a U shape. The yellow parts underneath are now painted up in gold. Probably the biggest change from Canon, if SD could ever worry about that, is just that instead of having the traditional one red shield over on the left arm, he's going to be having the two of them hanging off the shoulders. It's going to make them look symmetrical and a lot more samurai-ish, but my favorite part has to be the armored Schneider weapons on the back. As you can see that they're going to slide in and out nice and easily there, and basically they're just offset, so you've got an outer one and an inner one. A very good way to do that. Definitely beats putting them in the pocket on an SD kit. They're going to be visible and adding sort of an X vibe to it. Combine that with a pretty cool top knot, and even in a sumo loss, his head would be protected. So tons of fun, and if Bandai had stopped right here with the features, I'd still be content. It's a great SD kit. All the mobility is going to be exactly as you'd expect, but the colors are looking good, and the seals do not detract from the overall quality of the kit. Having the details like the little gold parts under the arms, the blue forearms, and the seals down on the feet, everything about the guy is actually looking really good, especially the face there. But when you're going to be throwing in the two mythological beast monster guardians there, whatever you want to call them, I think they're fantastic, especially the bird. I wish I had painted it up in gold. If this one had stayed together, it would be a lot more fun. But don't forget, there's 3 more modes that you can put this guy in, plus the super perfect mode, so stick around for that. One more part for the review, and as always, let me know what you think of this kit, the story, and anything else with a comment down below. Thanks for watching, everybody. See ya. Hate to say it, kid, but that's almost an improvement.